It's a brand new day. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day. Take a good day, make it great, okay? Cause if you got some lemons, make some lemonade. Yeah, taste those clouds away. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day.
Hi, how's it going? I hope you're well, and it's really wonderful to have you here. Excited to talk to you this new year. First of all, I want to say Happy New Year to everyone that's watching this video, and welcome back to this channel. Now, as we bid farewell to 2023 and usher in this new year, 2024, I know that many of us have started thinking about New Year's resolution. Now, you know, these resolutions are kind of the promises we make to ourselves and to about getting fit or eating healthier, or maybe learning something new, or maybe making $1 million before the end of the year. But have you ever wondered why we make these resolutions every year? And more importantly, why it's really so hard to stick with them. Have you ever wondered about that? Well, there's a whole science behind it, and that's what we'll be talking about today. It turns out that our brains and social behaviors actually play a big role in this tradition. Now, if you're curious about why you should set goals and how we can actually achieve them, I want you to stick around. Maybe there's something that you would gain or learn from this video. And I know if you already got your resolutions list ready, feel free to share it below, the comments below, and let's see the plans you have for the new year. But also, I want us to get into the psychology and science behind New Year's resolution, and so that we can actually turn this new year to a new you, and hopefully that you achieve all the things that you want to achieve this year. But first off, let's start to take a quick look at the history of New Year resolutions. Did you know that this tradition dates back to ancient times? In fact, the Babylonians were known as about 4,000 years ago. They are believed to have been the first to make New Year resolutions, though for them, it was more about making promises to their gods. Now, fast forward to today, and it's become more about self-improvement, our self-achievements. But why do we feel the need to actually make these resolutions to start with? In fact, psychologists find that this practice actually taps into our innate desire for self-improvement and personal growth. In fact, it's really a way of setting intentions, right, and giving ourselves a fresh start. Studies have found that the act of actually making resolutions can actually be beneficial for our mental health. And it's beneficial because it provides us with a sense of direction and purpose. But there's a twist to this, because our brain kind of loves setting goals, but it's not always great at following them, unfortunately. It's not always great at following through the goals that we set. And really this due to a little thing in the brain, or a little thing rather, it's not in the brain, it's due to what is called the planning fallacy. Now, planning fallacy is really where we tend to underestimate how long task will take, or even how challenging they will be. Now, this sort of explains as well why so many of us kind of start off strong in the new year, but then we struggle to keep up with our resolutions, especially after the first month of the new year, right? And so as we look at this, I do want us to consider why these resolutions may often fail. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why do so many New Year resolutions fail? In fact, why did your New Year resolution last year fail? Why was the one previous year fail? Now, you might think it's just a lack of willpower, but there is more to it, because behavioral psychologists often point out several factors. One major reason why your resolution often fail, it's because we often set unrealistic goals. Now, when we aim too high without a realistic plan, what we do is that we set ourselves up for failure. In fact, a study in the American Psychologist Journal kind of suggests that setting smaller, achievable goals it's actually more effective. In fact, there's also the issue of out of sight, out of mind. And essentially, if you don't have constant reminders of our goals, if we don't have constant reminders of our goals, it's easy to forget them. In fact, one research scientist, I think B.J. Fogg at Stanford, he actually emphasizes the importance of creating habits rather than just setting goals. In fact, he suggests that attaching new habits to existing routines to make them stick. In other words, we have to always attach new habits to existing routines to actually make them stay and make them work. And so, and let's not also forget about the role of motivations, because motivation fluctuates. And when it dips, so does our commitment to our resolutions. In fact, the key, according to motivation research, is actually to find intrinsic motivations, doing things for the joy of satisfaction they bring, rather than actually for the external rewards that they bring. For example, I do this, prepare some podcasts, put together a script, talk about different topics, simply because I enjoy talking about science. I enjoy communicating about that. I enjoy translating science topics to an audience that hopefully would appreciate the content, right? For me, it's not so much about the external rewards. Well, the external rewards are great, will be good. If I have millions of following on my platform, that would be wonderful. It means I have much more bigger platform to share these ideas. But beyond just that, I'm happy either way. Again, satisfaction, merely talking about it, merely playing around the videos, even though I don't know what I'm doing, right? But anyway, also, I do want to talk about setting achievable resolutions, especially as we start the new year, right? So how can we set resolutions that we will actually keep? I think it's all about being smart. It's all about being smart. And I mean that literally, SMART goals. It's all about setting SMART goals. SMART, the acronym SMART means specific goals, measurable goals, achievable goals, relevant goals, and time-bound goals. In fact, this method, rooted in management theory, and it's also widely endorsed by psychologists as well. This SMART goals, actually help create clear, attainable goals, essentially. In fact, for example, instead of saying, I want to get fit in this year, I want to get fit, I want to have a six-pack and all that. A SMART goal would be, I will go for 30 minutes work every day for the next 3 months, right? Now, this makes your goal clear and trackable. In fact, another tip is to focus on building small, sustainable habits rather than making drastic changes, right? One author, known as, I think, James Clear, in his book, Atomic Habits, he advocates for tiny incremental changes that actually add up over time. In fact, he suggests starting with a habit that's so easy you can't say no to, right? And don't forget to celebrate your small victories along the way as you achieve these goals. Now, positive reinforcement can be a powerful motivator, especially as shown in studies in behavioral change. But remember, it's not about perfection. It's really about progress. And so making small changes consistently can actually lead to significant improvements over time. So start small, keep it small, SMART, small, sustainable goals, right? But also, finally, I do want to talk about how to stick to our New Year resolutions. How do we stick to our New Year resolutions? First, I think it's important to keep your goals visible. Now, write them down, put them on your fridge door, set reminders on your phone, do whatever you need to do, but make sure it's visible, right? Because this really keeps your resolutions at the forefront of your mind, right? Paste it at the wall of your room if you have to. Now, research in the field of cognitive psychology actually suggests that visual cues actually can significantly increase the likelihood of performing a behavior. Now, the next thing you need to do, especially as we talk about how you can maintain your resolutions this year, is to build a support system. Now, share your goals with your friends and your family. Now, I might talk about 3 types of friends in the next time, and share your goal with your confidence, those that are there for you. Or maybe join a group with similar objectives. And because social support is not just about accountability, it's also about encouragement and sharing the journey as you go. Now, in fact, a study that was actually published, I think, in the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology actually found that people who had social support were more successful in maintaining their weight loss compared to those who went at it alone. Now, another key aspect I think is flexibility, because life is often unpredictable and rigid goals can actually set you up for failure. So be open to reassessing and even adjusting your resolutions as needed. And so this adaptability, it's actually a principle in cognitive behavioral therapy, which teaches us to be flexible in our thinking and behavior patterns in order to change the effective dynamics in our body. But lastly, don't be too hard on yourself if you slip up, because it's likely that you might not follow through with the goals that you set for yourself. In fact, one of the goals that I had a couple of months ago before the end of the year was to stay fit, but I started a new role in my university. It was almost impossible for me to actually meet my own personal goals. And so don't be too hard on yourself. Acknowledge the achievements and the things that you've achieved, because it's normal and part of the process. What's important at the end of the day is how you respond to these setbacks, how you respond to them, to the hurdles in your life, the challenges, the struggles, the tribulations in your life. Those are things that actually are more important. And so instead of giving up, use them as learning opportunities. Carol, one psychologist, talks about the concept of growth mindset. And growth mindset essentially encourages seeing challenges as chances to actually grow rather than insurmountable obstacles. So don't be too hard on yourself. Rather, if you slip up, it's okay. See that as opportunities to make adjustment and still become the person that you ought to be. And so that brings us to the end of our exploration today and our topic on New Year's resolutions. Now, from its ancient origins to even the psychological and behavioral strategies we can use today, I think it's clear that setting and sticking to resolutions is both an art and also a science. In fact, but remember, the goal isn't to overhaul. But remember, the goal is not really to overhaul your life overnight, but really to make gradual, sustainable changes that can lead to long-term growth and fulfillment. And as we step into the new year, I want to encourage you to approach your resolutions with kindness, with a bit of flexibility and also a sense of purpose. Celebrate the small wins, right? Learn from the setbacks and really, most importantly, keep moving forward. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, and as we looked at the science of resolutions and found it helpful, please do give it a thumbs up and make sure you share this video with your friends and family. Maybe it could help them. And make sure also that you drop your comment below. In fact, tell us what your resolution for this year is, and tell us how you're planning on creating sustainable steps, smart goals that are sustainable to achieve them. And don't forget to subscribe to our platform or follow our platform if you're watching on Facebook. And it's been wonderful talking to you. And here's to a new year filled with growth, happiness, and achievement. Until next time, keep striving for those goals. And remember, every small step counts. God bless you. Bye.